nice 240 today. Removing the transmission and putting a new clutch in it.
Alright, so we didn't record any of this because we're terrible at YouTube, but since we've been gone, I've got some new shit for this guy here. I got some new refurbished knuckles with some new bushings. I got some adjustable camber arms and toe arms. Some new brakes for now. Got the 5-love hub conversions. Painted some calipers. Got some stainless, or not stainless, whatever. Maybe they're stainless, I don't know. Braided brake lines. We swapped out from the VLSD with a speed sensor to a non-speed sensor. This is at least allegedly, this is a helical LSD out of a S15 swapped into an S13 pumpkin with the 410 or 411, I think they are, gears. I think that's about it. Now we got some poly bushings too in this new subframe that I sandblasted and spray painted. I think that's it though.
You disconnect your drive shaft from back here. Normally there's a drive shaft in this area here, but we just took it out to get it out of the way. And this line right here is going to be in with this bunch of lines that normally goes along the top right side of your transmission. And you just cut or disconnect the zip tie up here, and that should allow you to let it drop down after you unplug these 1, 2, 3, 4 connectors, and then this one all the way forward up here. And then this hose for the vent just gets disconnected from the vent hole up on top of the transmission. Make sure you disconnect your slave cylinder, put it off to the side. This is going to be with 14s. And then once that's complete, you just start taking the bolts around the entire perimeter of your transmission off. Make sure you still have your support strut. Just loosen these to about hand tight. Don't take them all the way out. And then we're going to get the transmission jack under here and take her out. Alright, so these are the orientation that the tranny bolts are going to come out. Starting from top right, down around to the bottom right, bottom left, back up to the top left. You want to make sure you keep them in the same order, because even the stuff that's similar is slightly different size, and you want to make sure everything's going back in the same spot so it fits. Anything you can't get off from the bottom of the direct wrench or impact is going to be the top 4 bolts, and we use a setup like this with a flex socket, which you could also use just a regular flex extension with a socket on the end of it. It'll be a little more tight though. And then a probably 2-inch extension, and then anywhere from another 6-inch extension to I guess a 1.5-foot extension. And you just kind of work from the front back, put your socket on first, and then your extension, and then kind of work from there. And you can get it all the way up in there, and that's as much as you're going to need to get.
The longer the better, if you know what I mean.
Watch your head crush though.
Want to be like right under the greasiest part. Keep going, I'll tell you. I'll let you know. Ah! You're crushing me! No, keep going. I was kidding. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And stop.
Oh, there it is.
There she blows.
Let her down.
Well, she's out.
You don't have to take the shifter off. I'm just doing this because I'm an idiot. We're collectively idiots, but we're not professionals, so.
If you're watching this channel, you already know that we're idiots.
Yeah, that is true.
Should put a disclosure at the beginning of the video.
We're idiots.
If you're
Full
watching,
disclosure.
you might be too.
So yep, she's out of there.
Where's your throw out bazzaring, dude? I got the old one out.
Dude, why is there no torque on these?
It is quite possible.
The battery's dead on this thing and it's just zipping them off. Okay, that one had a little bit.
How does that work? Just pressed on, Jack?
Whoa, she stank.
And if you like our sweet tunes, it's Shed Life, local to frickin' CT. Shameless plug.
So in case you're doing your rear main seal when you're doing your transmission, which probably isn't a bad idea, a lot easier to get to, what you're gonna want to do is you take this aluminum plate off with, there's 2 oil pan screws under here. And those are a lot shorter than these ones. And they're all 10 millimeters. And then these 2 here are longer than these ones. These are like medium length. These 2 down here are short. So don't get those mixed up and should be alright. You wanna put some RTV on around the rear main when you slide it in case there's any little scratches or anything in there, imperfections to fill in. And then there's RTV grooves for the pan and along the outside perimeter of the rear main seal cover. There's also paper gaskets available. In my experience, if it's got RTV grooves, you're better off with just RTV.
All right, so to do your throwout bearing, which is this bearing right here, you're gonna need a press, or I'm sure there's other ways you could do it, but we're not, you know, we're not hacks, so, you know, we're just used to press. We're sort of hacks, but I guess, you know. So anyways, you're normally gonna wanna clean all this crap out of here, but we're also sort of hacks. So to get it out, you're gonna spread the cheeks of this clip right here and then pull it back, and then you'll be able to pull the entire assembly forward. And it's gonna be this and the attaching piece, and then the other bearing that's normally on there. We have a slightly bigger one for our super badass race clutch. And then to put it back in, which is the real pain in the ass, you have to put the back piece on with the spring already on it, slide it back on the shaft, and then rotate the legs of the spring around to about halfway down, and then you rotate it back around to get it on the bottom one. So there's 2 feet on one on each side, so you're going to want to do the top one, or I guess the bottom one first, doesn't matter, and then rotate it the opposite way. That way you could push this one over with a screwdriver or something and just slip it over the edge, and then turn it so that these 2 feet of the actual bearing housing are landing on the feet of the throwout foot here.
No, I meant, do you need it loose? Alright, so we just put the flywheel on. We applied blue Loctite to the flywheel bolts and torqued them to 111 foot-pounds. And, yep, in a diametrical pattern, so you can go boom, 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 boom. And then in reverse from that, make sure they're still tight. Alright, if you have one of these centering tools, makes it a lot easier. Sits in the grooves, and then this will sit inside the pilot bear, or pilot bushing in this case. So, center that up, boom. Hold it pretty much flush. And then you can put on the pressure plate, which you also clean the flywheel and pressure plate with some brake cleaner carb clean or whatever before you put it on. Make sure I put this the right way. Like this.
What better time than the freaking present, brother?
Another time.
There she is.
That is a better time.
All tightened down, ready for a transmission.
We are here now.